Now, it hasn't been smooth sailing since I bought the bike. I picked it up on Friday, it's now Tuesday. The day I picked it up was raining, miserable. The bike, fresh, greasy tyres, a complete new bike to me. I was just taking it easy and not pushing it, or just trying to get comfortable with the bike. And as I was riding home, an engine warning light came on. So I pulled over and rang Mark from Indian Motorcycle in Ballarat, and he said, well, just see how it goes. And I was able to just call up the codes. That's one good thing with the Chiefs and the Chieftains. You can just bring up the codes in the diagnostics on the screen, and it'll tell you what the error code is, and then you can drill down. It'll explain what that code is. So I told Mark what was going on. He said, well, it could have been because I was just sort of going a bit too easy, labouring the bike. That could have thrown a code, because apparently they are known for that. And just keep riding and see how it goes. So I did that. And then on Saturday morning, next morning, went to start it, and it sounded a bit sort of fluffy and not running, 100%. So I was going to go on the Indian shop ride and take my new bike to show everyone my new bike and make a bit of a reveal of it. And then when I didn't feel comfortable taking it, I decided Mark said run it down. He'll have a look at it, chuck it on the computer, and see what the codes are, and go from there. So I did that, put it on the computer, cleared the codes, and they were just sort of errors. They weren't sort of anything, serious, just errors. And so took it up for a ride up the road, and came back, all clear, all good, no worries. So I thought what I'll do is I'll meet the guys on the ride at Beaufort where they were having lunch, and catch up with them there, and then show them the bike. So I went out on the highway heading towards Beaufort, and the engine warning light came on again. So I continued on my trip, and came back home, and really started to think about what could be causing that, what could be setting the bike off. And I started to think, I'm wondering if it was the battery. So what I did was I put the bike straight onto the trickle charger, and this is the second day of ownership, and immediately the battery charger showed that the battery needed to go into save mode I think that's like a desulfating process, I'm not sure. So it went into save mode. You see a little orange light came on, and then after a bit, like a few hours, it went into charge mode and started charging the bike. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe the battery was just really low, and I know that if the battery is really low, that it can, in some bikes, cause them to throw faults. And the battery never really went into a proper charge mode. It would charge for a bit, and then it would go to like a flashing green light on what it was, maintain. It was flashing on the maintain indicator, and I just couldn't get the charge properly. So then I thought, I've got my Predator Raptor battery from R&J Batteries, which is that super cool, high cranking power, a really strong lithium phosphate battery that I'd been testing in my Chief, and had fantastic results. That bike never throws any error codes, other than the one time that I had too much dielectric grease on the top of the spark plug. That's the only time it's ever thrown a code. And so I thought, I wonder if I switched that battery in to this bike, which is what Tim wanted me to do. It's the same battery as in the Chief. He said, pull it out of the Chief and put it into this bike, and for more long-term testing down the track. So I thought I might switch those batteries over, and then see what happens. So I went to switch the batteries over, pull the seat off and everything. And in the manual, it specifically says that you have to be super careful with the VCM, which is the Vehicle Control Module. I believe that's what it stands for. In that, if you are removing the VCM, which sits on top of the battery, you have to make sure that nothing contacts that VCM while you're doing the battery changeover, or while you're removing the battery, because you can arc it, cause a spark, and that will destroy the vehicle control module. So I thought, you know what, the bike's 1-2 days old, I'm not going to take that risk. I'm going to call and see Jeremy on Monday and at Indian Motorcycle in Ballarat and just put forward my proposal to swap the battery over. I'll pull it apart and you can just swap it in and just see if that makes any difference. Clear the codes, go for a ride again and see if that solves the problem. The only downside to that, or the only issue with that, was that the last 2 error codes I got on the ride to Beaufort, instead of showing error, were showing damaged O2 sensor. So long story short, Jeremy swapped the battery over. I now have the Predator Raptor battery from R&J Battery in the bike, and he tested the front O2 sensor and yeah, it was faulty. So he replaced the O2 sensor on the bike, the front one. And when he pulled it out and we had a look at it, it was just black. It was just coated in carbon. It was just, yeah, there was definitely something wrong with the O2 sensor. Whether it was caused because of a low battery and it damaged the sensor, or whether it was a faulty sensor right from the start, yeah, I don't know. As soon as he started it up after putting the new sensor in, with the new battery, it just was running just beautifully, just purring like a kitten. It was exactly like my Chief was when it idles, except a lot quieter because it's got the stock exhaust system on it. And just on the exhaust system, I'm going to keep the stock exhaust system on this. I'm very happy with the sound it makes. It's nice and quiet out in the highway, but it's still enough of a noise when you're idling and things like that. So that's staying. I'm very happy with that. So anyway, it's been now, this is the second day riding the bike with the Predator Raptor battery in, with the new O2 sensor, no error codes, no engine warning lights, starts beautifully, is running beautifully, is riding beautifully. So thumbs up.